Hey everybody, all you YouTuber land people. So I was thinking about something that I wanted to share with you guys. And as usual, I'm going to illustrate a point with a story. When I was a wee little bear cub, many years ago, I got my first big, real job. Most of my life I've been self-employed, right? But I came to work for this company based out of Boston. Great company, great people, completely discombobulated, right? They had more work than they literally knew how to do. And so they hired me on as a member of management, a working manager, to both manage projects and perform projects at the same time. And the owner of the company was this cool older Italian guy. And there were lots of issues. And I had, at this point, lots of practical, real-world experience, but they were from running my own companies, doing my own thing. And so I wrote this big, for about a month, I took notes, made observations. I had a journal full of this stuff. And I wrote it all up, typed it all up, and I sent it to him, I emailed it to him. And with basically the tag of, when you have time, I would love to discuss this with you. And man, I was proud, right? I was young. In my 20s. Proud. I got called into his office, and I'm like, yeah, here's the day, right? Here it comes. Oh, ready to start strutting like a peacock. And he looked across his desk at me, and he said, T, I know I have problems. I don't effing care about my problems. What I care about is what you're going to do to fix it. And that was the end of the conversation. And it, in an instant, shifted my perspective. Because all I was really doing was politely whining to him. I was politely whining. And now part of this is being able to put one's ego aside and realize, because I right there in the moment, I was like, man, he's right. It doesn't, simply identifying a problem does not make the problem go away. It is the first step. It is integral to success. I say all the time here, you can't hit a target you can't see. So you have to identify the target. And I had done that. But where I failed was I stopped at identifying the target. No plan of attack. And so I was both enlightened and dejected at the same time. Because I was eager to prove myself. I was young. I'd sold my first business, and now I was in the, back in the construction industry, but I was working as a project manager, and this company had some real potential and the whole nine. And so it was kind of, but not quite, soul crushing, but at the same time enlightening. And so I left and I went back to my journal, back to my notebook, back to my notes, and then back into the field and started observing and looking at things and thinking from a critical angle. If this was my business, how would I do this? Okay. What's the proper utilization of equipment, material, manpower, and time? Okay. Well, if I do this, what are the downstream effects of doing this? How does this affect that? I can't do that because that jeopardizes this. And blah, 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 blah. And just started wargaming all this stuff. And I wrote another email about a month after that with 3 things. I said, I would like to talk to you about how I propose we address these 3 things. Prioritize and execute. All right, so are you following along here? Identify the target. Prioritize and execute. Develop a battle plan. Get after it. So, we had a different conversation that second time. And by giving the owner of the company something to work off of, hey, these are my ideas, here's my perspective as boots on the ground, the guy out in the field looking at what the actual daily operations look like, not the idealized, distant, and separated concept of what they should look like, but what they actually look like. Here's my take on it. So he's looking at it from the top down, I'm looking at it from the bottom up, and we're both able to step outside of it and look at it objectively from the side and go, huh. We had a much more productive conversation, and we were able to start implementing things pretty quickly. Now, this company, not at all just because of me, because there were great people that worked there and they busted their butts, but in part because of me, this company grew and grew and grew and grew and made a ton of money pretty quick. And it was a great thing, right? But you have to, it's not simply enough to say, yeah, we got a problem. Hey boss, I got a problem. By and large, your boss knows you have a problem. By and large, your boss doesn't care about the problem itself. Your boss wants to know, if you're going to bring it to him, what you're going to do about it to fix it. This has been my experience. And so I'm not telling you this to criticize you at all. I'm telling you this for 2 reasons. Number one, in your own life, so that you can look at a problem critically, identify the issue, figure out battle plans, and then prioritize and execute. I need to take care of this, this, and this first. Once I have this addressed, that will buy me a little bit of time when now I can address this, this, and this. Prioritize and execute. Then the other reason, the second reason why I'm telling you this, is that if you are an employee, a subordinate, that you work for the man, right? You have a boss. Everybody has a boss, okay? The vast majority of the Earth's population has a boss. Understand, when you're communicating up the chain of command, that if all you do is identify the problem, you are just politely whining. You are just politely whining. And that's okay if you didn't know. Now you know. So figure out how you can address the situation. What suggestions for improvement, what angles of attack, what input can you provide to your boss, your manager, whoever, the regional vice president of copier machines, whatever, right? How can you provide that information up the chain of command and suggest methods to implement that will improve the situation for you? And I would say, lastly, do those things under the auspice of improving the organization as a whole. Not so that you get credit for something, not so that you get a gold star, not so that it looks good on your fit rep, whatever, just because it will improve the organization as a whole, which will ultimately improve your life generate more money for the company, which will be good for you, right? Pay it forward. Be a good contributor to society, your company, your chain of command, your unit, your whatever. So these are the random truck thoughts that I have while I'm driving, and I wanted to share them with you. And if this information has been useful to you and you enjoy this, feel free to check us out on Patreon. You can click the like button down here. That helps us in YouTube. You can hit the subscribe button and the little bell, and that will let you know when we have more content coming out. You can comment down below and let me know, hey man, this helped me, thank you. You can share this with your leadership, whether that's your church, your mag, your tribe, your business, your bowling club, your super ultra tactical operators union, your whatever. That helps us as well. And lastly, if you have a question, comment, or concern, a legitimate one, you can email us at ntxmag November Tango X-Ray Mike Alpha Golf @gmail.com. Shalom.